Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. We are here for some more Le Mans Ultimate. We've had a little break over Christmas. Welcome back. Hope you all had a good Christmas period. Had some good family time, or time with friends. And yeah, we're back. It's been a few days. Welcome Iris, welcome Jesse. Good to see you too. Hope you're ready for some racing action. I just remembered, actually forgot to grab something, so give me a moment. Right, grabbed my drink, and we are now ready to get into this. Welcome, welcome. We are here just at the end of practice. We finished practice P6 in the practice standings. Welcome, Geeky. How am I doing? I'm doing quite well. I've had a bit of a sort of relaxing day after being out for most of yesterday. We are fastest McLaren, so we are. By a by quite a margin, by 2 seconds apparently. Would I like to be distracted? I mean, you can try, but we're going to be focusing down. Qualifying will be starting soon. Speak of the devil, I do just want to make sure. Yes, this is a split qualifying with this is a split qualifying with cars on track. It's not a private session. It is... oh, no, that's the wrong button. It is... what do you call it? GT3s out first, so we're out in the first half. And then the prototypes will be out in the second 10 minutes. So we'll head out for qualifying here on the gold tyres. Do you have to... did have to wait for our mechanic there to guide us out, as there are collisions in pit lane. That's something we will have to worry about a little later on. As we head out, cars sliding around on the cold tyres, as is expected with the Mon Ultimate. You can see tyres down at a very lowly 30 odd degrees. We'll get some temperature into them with a few laps. But yeah, third race on the Mon Ultimate, this one. Had our first one, 90 minutes of Fuji, where we had accelerated fuel and tyre wear to make for a bit more of an interesting strategy race. Today we also have 9 minutes. Of course, we had the 75 minutes of Bahrain last time out, where we were in the LMP2 class. We had great pace in Bahrain, but a couple of misunderstandings getting caught up with some of the GT3s in that race. Made for a difficult race. Not to mention having our controls unbound by the game. So having to rebind neutral in the middle of the race after a little instant. Did not help us. But yeah, we've got Hypercars back, as this race will be much more similar to Fuji. Welcome, Dakota. Great to see you. I see you're playing some games. Hope you're enjoying the games. Not sure exactly what was planned for tonight. I just know there were some party games of some sort. Right, we've got the tyres up to temperature now. They're not quite at optimum, but they're sort of within a working window. So we can start to push a little bit more. Certainly feeling a bit more grip coming from the tyres. Heading into T1, braking after the 50-meter board. Over the curbs of turn 1 and 2, using the curb through turn 3, trying to help rotate the car. Bit of understeer in the car. Unfortunately, had to scrub the tyre a little more than I would have wanted to. Down towards turn 4, no braking markers, so we used the little tarmac patch on the right-hand side to guide us into the corner. Flat out through T5, start to make the climb up to the fast turn 6. Turn the car in, I find the rear end can be very light through this corner. Manage the throttle over the crest. Into turn 7, very tight corner, into this very technical section. Wait for the car through turn 8, and then as the track comes to you, the car grips up, and you make your way up to turn 9 now. Another tight corner, just wait for the car to rotate, then get on the throttle out the other end. Little lift through the left-hander to not scrub the tyre into the final sector now. Very important corner this. You want to get a good exit, use all of the curb, but make sure not to get onto the grass. As we then head up the hill through the final few corners, easy flat out. Looks like we're going to dip down into the 35s here. 35.9, that'd be my fastest time on this track. And we go for another lap to see if we can improve. Better run through turns 1 and 2 as the tyres are a bit closer to the optimal temperature. Ferrari in front pulls aside to let us through. Obviously not happy with how they started the lap. 3 tenths up after T4. Looking to be a good lap here, rear end. Letting go through turn 6, as I mentioned. Has been a possibility. We hold on to the car, but that of course would be time lost. And in the race, We don't want to do that too often as it will damage the tyres through this technical middle section. Nearly 6/10 up. Trying to hold it flat out through this left-hander. A bit easier on the lighter fuel than it is in race fuel. Use a lot of that inside curb. We've scrubbed off a little bit too much speed. Run up to the line, just trying to shorten the distance a little bit. We've got just under 3 minutes left in quali. That time puts us up to P4 for now. Within half a second of the current provisional pole time. Not the greatest run through the first few corners. Car sliding about still through the double right-hander here. Half a tenth off as we come into the final corner. I say final corner, practically the final corner. Carry a bit more speed through there and we're going to gain time. Run up to the line. 0.16 up. Gets us up into P3 just about. Just have enough fuel for one more lap. We have the time for one more lap. A little bit messy through the first couple of corners. Did have a good run through T1 and 2, but yeah, didn't carry momentum to taking a lot of curb at T2. That might get the lap invalidated. Just a little wide of the white line, and yeah, we'll continue the lap. So we can practice a pit entry here. Front tires starting to overheat now too. Especially that front right. You can see the difference in the tire wear between the front tires and the rear tires after that quali run. And the slide that we had in the middle sector. As we get that pit entry pretty spot on. Very nicely done. Let's do a tire change for all the tires will be. Get moved slightly into our box. Tires are 12 seconds. I'm not sure. For the 75-minute race we had at Bahrain, we didn't take new tires. So we didn't, but there we can see final standings. P4 in the end. With a Ferrari, BMW and another Ferrari in front of us. 8 seconds off though. Let me just check. Yep, that is the time. I noticed sort of a discrepancy in qualifying. The different time was showing on track than in the pits for the top times. So it's just making sure. Looks like a couple of the GT3s, including some of the McLarens, didn't get time in. Oh, final GT3 time went in. Didn't quite see. I think it was Martin, 11 seconds off the pace. So some drivers struggling, it looks like. A couple of the McLarens not getting a time in. The other McLaren a few seconds off the pace as well. So it looks like we will be the lone McLaren fighting towards the front of the field. And we have just one Chevy as well. So the McLarens and Chevys going a little unloved, it seems like. But now we have a bit of serve time. We can watch the prototypes. Just see. That doesn't look really beneficial. A lot of traffic here for the prototypes to sort themselves through. Of course, the prototypes will be warming their tires up as well. They're on their first flying lap, it looks like here. Fortunately, we don't really get any sort of data as to how well they're running. Watching one of the Lamborghinis up to the line, they went P8. Porsche got BMW here up to the line. Time was invalid, it looks like. So currently an Alpine leading the way. Track looks very busy, of course. Interlagos, not a very long track, only a minute 23 in the Hypercars that we're watching. There were 19 Hypercars signed up. It doesn't look like all 19 have turned up. 14 it looks have turned up. And ooh, Jessimus is out holding on to the top spot. See more cars through. Can the BMW get time on the board? Cross line goes P3. And I think we still have about 4 minutes left in the session. Between Hypercars. Got a Porsche coming up to the line, puts themselves P8. So we've got about 11 cars within about just over a second and a half. Porsche there. 3 cars are starting a lap. Finishing lap. Alpine coming out for pits. Let's watch this Porsche then. Into the final corner. Up to the line. Will they be able to improve on P5? They'll need about 3.5 tenths to get up into P4. Doesn't look like they improved on that lap. Caddy now up to the line. Doesn't improve either. A couple of cars off in the background. That was a BMW and a Lamborghini. Let's see if the Porsche now up to line can improve from P11. No improvement from them. Lamborghini was off. Another Alpine coming through. Looking to get themselves into the top 5. Isn't improving on that lap either. Let's see. Right, so Cadillac up to the line, currently sitting P4, very close between the front 3, just half a tenth. Can the P4 Caddy getting closer? Nope. Porsche still sitting in P5, I believe it is. Now we've got a Ferrari currently sitting P7, doesn't improve. Looks like a lot of cars improving at this late stage of the race. Porsche not able to improve as well. Lamborghini into the pits. Another Porsche coming up to the line. Our current pole sitter goes even quicker. Puts a good 3/10 margin between them and the next car. People starting to pit now. BMW, last of the hypercar runners at the moment. Finding a lot of time. Let's see. A couple of Ferraris go through the final sector. So let's see. So a bit of right teamwork there. Don't think either of them were able to improve. Porsche coming through the final corner. Taking the shortest run to the line. Improves, gets up to 10th by 4 thousandths of a second. As we can see the timing screen there for all the hypercars. So the strategy for this race, I'm not too sure what it's going to be a one-stop race. I think we'll have about 56, maybe 57 laps in the GT3 class over the 90 minutes. So yeah, I haven't done enough practice to know exactly what the strategy is going to be. We did change tires every time at Fuji, and it kind of worked. We don't really know what the best strategy was at Bahrain. We didn't change tires. It seemed all right, but maybe changing tires would have been a good idea. It is only 12 seconds here. With the higher temperatures that we have here, I feel like it's going to be beneficial. Might be a case of maybe we only change some tires and not all of them. Let's go to the car setup. So yeah, full fuel. We'll need about 70-ish% to get to the end afterwards. Let me just double check. I don't really know what any of this really means. Well, I don't really properly understand a lot of it, so... Yeah, yeah, 29 cars on the field, 14 Hypercars, 15 GT3s. Looks like we've had a late GT3 join in another McLaren. Let's head out onto the grid. We'll be starting on the outside for this race. Yeah, let's have our headlights on. As we wait for the formation lap to start here.
Formation lap has started.
Oh dear. We had this at Fuji where one hypercar stalled and it gave half the GT3 field a drive-through, but seems like we've not fallen to that curse this time. We're away here at Interlagos. We're looking to the outside into T1. Crash in front, BMW gets into the Ferrari. Ferrari ends up spinning, and that gives us the free place up to P3. Down towards turn 4 now. Just looking to sell into this race. Make sure we don't lose the rear end through this long right-hander. As we get the tires up to temperature. It's been a clean opening lap. For us, not for one of the Ferraris that started in front of us, unfortunately for them, but has gifted us a podium place for now. We already have a hypercar coming through the field. Not quite close enough to get us into T1 or T2. Let's go round our outside, which is a little bit awkward, forces us to just scrub that front right a little bit more. Got a Cadillac coming through as well. That's been in the pits, whether they started in the pits or... Yeah, they obviously started in the pits. They haven't made a pit stop yet. So I can't... And they weren't coming out of the pits, so... Interesting there. Top two GT3 cars getting held up a little bit more. Big gap to some of the GT3s behind. I wonder if they got drive-throughs for the start. I didn't notice them going into the pits. I started looking forward as BMW in front gets onto the grass. That gives us a run here. We're going to look to the outside. Go brake late and we'll get the position. Taking P2, but I wonder if the BMW is going to try and come back at us. Only half a tenth slower than the leader last lap too. Too much curb there on the inside, just nibbled the yellow sausage part. BMW's dropped back a little bit this lap. Also just noticed it looks like the track temp is a little cooler than it was in quali. Quali I think it was like 41, whereas here it's 34 at the moment. Definitely a lot more shade across the track than there has been in the other sessions. I think this gives us track information. We were only 8 thousandths slower than the leader last lap. I've got deep into the right-hander. After a purple opening sector. Doesn't look like time progression is on. BMW certainly closed up a bit more this lap. front right tyre starting to overheat a little bit. The optimum for these tyres is 88 degrees Celsius, and we're getting into the 90s. BMW setting the fastest lap of the race behind us. A little bit wide there through T2 and 3. Gives us a little bit of a track cut warning. Yeah, BMW was just over 0.3 quicker than us. Last lap. We're also, well, we were 0.3 up on our delta. We've lost a little bit of time at the end of the middle sector here. BMW using a love curve by getting onto the grass. That does cost you a bit of momentum onto the straight, which then of course costs you time all the way up to T1. Rear end sliding by a bit through T1 and 2. Went even faster than from the BMW behind. Annoyingly, the game doesn't even register your lap or it doesn't even give you a lap time if you invalidate it. Still a little bit away from having any of the Hypercars, or the Hypercars catch us to lap us for the first time. Keeping up with the leader. BMW is putting a little bit of pressure on us. Fastest final sector. We run through the first few corners. Only 200ths slower than the car behind the BMW last lap. Purple sector 1 this lap. Lost a bit of time through the long right-hander. BMW's dropped back a little bit this lap. It really doesn't sound nice when the car runs over that curb on the exit of T3. We have our first Hypercars approaching. There's the blue flags to let us know that they're approaching. Did not think that Ferrari was close enough. For that send. A lot of Hypercars coming through. Unfortunately, dropped us back a bit from the fray. Allowed the BMW to close up. That's the top 4 Hypercars through. Still about 10 more that will have to make their way through. There's another slight track limit. That Ferrari Hypercar. Oh, that Porsche nearly sent in a little too hard. Just avoided us. I admit, Interlagos is not an easy multi-class track. Got a little bit of a gap now to the next cars. Gonna try and just close the gap up to the leading Ferrari again. That's too high to the right-hander. The BMW seems to be really good under braking, closes in quite a lot for that tight right-hander. Unfortunately, a couple of little mistakes throughout the middle sector. Dropped us back a little bit from the Ferrari instead of closing us up. Actually, over the entire lap, we were a little bit quicker. Next Hypercar starting to broach as I get a little bit wide through turn 3. That'll be half a point. That feels a little bit harsh. At least bit of time as the Alpine passes us. Well, Lamborghini catching up as well behind BMW. Ryan using a lot of track on the exit of the long left-hander. Lamborghini Hypercar going into the pits. Ryan getting a little bit wide through turn 3. Allows us to close in a bit. BMW gets in very deep, loses a bit of time. Starting to catch up to a McLaren to lap. Ferrari lost a lot of time with that situation between the McLaren and the Porsche Hypercar coming through. A little deep on the brakes there from the Ferrari. Having to defend. Lost a little bit of ground to the Ferrari in the latter half of this lap. But we're in the slipstream. Closing back up. Big error from the Ferrari there. That allows us to close up again. Putting the pressure on. Have another lap car. try and carry as much momentum as they can out with the effective final corner. Get on the throttle as early as possible, and a little bit too early gone to the grass, and that scuppered our momentum. We're definitely stronger through the first few corners than the Ferrari in front. Another little track limit warning. Again, just getting on the grass. That time that's given the BMW a run on us. It's gonna get the move done. Round the outside, that's annoying. Prototype's starting to approach again. Oh, that fucking BMW couldn't hold their fucking brakes. Oh, and then they get out just ahead of us because of that. That's so annoying. That was such a good battle too. BMW's going into the pits. They probably have more substantial damage than we do from that. See a hypercar spinning off into the barrier. That's gonna end exactly the same way last lap did. So I was like, no, I'm not getting involved in that crash. That is so unpredictable. One of the worst lap cars I have ever seen. Game doesn't consider us to have damage. Which is nice. We still have 15 laps to go in this stint. The Ferrari that's had that incident on lap 1 sitting in P4 by 5 seconds behind us at the moment. So we are 30 minutes into the race. 1 hour to go. Well, looking at how the tyre wear is, I think it's going to be a case of change all 4 tyres. Car's starting to understeer quite a bit, T3. Go have to be careful of those track limit points. We racked up 1.5 within the first half an hour. Can easily rack up some more. We are lapping quite a bit quicker than the leader is. Maybe they're saving fuel, managing tyres now that they've been given a very comfy lead. On a lap of Ferrari that has made a pit stop on lap 2 is gonna let us through. The tire nearly getting up to 100 degrees. The front right. So yeah, gonna need to be careful of that. Lapping Ferrari them faster than both Ferraris behind, which is nice. Lapping quicker than the lead car at the moment, but not by much. Last lap, only 3.5 tenths quicker. Rear end getting loose there. Just change your driving style, Geeky. Don't push the tire as much, lift off more. Those are 3 wide for a brief moment with a couple of hypercars. Side by side into T1, Cadillac trying to defend the outside is going to give the Alpine the inside for turn 2. Side by side contact with them through turn 2. Cadillac's off the track through turn 3. And the Alpine finally gets moved on. That's a fight for the lead in the overall for the race, of course, and within the hypercar class. The Alpine getting that moved on around the outside of T1. Nice little bit of entertainment mid-race. Oh, that front left just did not want to turn. Yep. Yeah, they were certainly being quite forceful with each other. Quite aggressive. but it is the fight for the lead. So you wouldn't expect it any other way. Got a good run through T3 there. BMW Hypercar coming through. It's noticed the Ferrari that did start in front of us has now got through, but has lost a lot of time getting up into P3. And the Ferrari that they were fighting has dropped back very substantially, even more. They're nearly 20 seconds behind us. Joda Porsche making their way through. Then we have a manufacturer Porsche. I should say Penske Porsche. GT3 Ferrari recovering. Get out wide again. 3T3. I'd maybe decide not to change the rear left. Like, it's barely gonna get, it's just gonna get to about 50% by the end of the race. You know, if I want to have a chance to win this race, I'm going to have to do something different, something interesting. And I think that means not taking front tires at the pit stop. See more hypercars side by side as they approach us. This will save us about 6 seconds. How it will affect our pace, I don't know. Also, for some reason, P8 in the hypercar class isn't showing up on my relative. We'll have to be very careful, especially through the long right-hander in the middle sector. You know, we've seen how twitchy, you know, how easily the rear end can loop around as it is. Whereas that's going to be just a little bit easier for the remainder of the race when we pit. Gap has stayed relatively similar to the leader since that incident. %15 of energy, 14 actually, as we come across the line at the halfway mark. Hypercar coming out of the pits. Thankfully gets it just in front of us. Change stuff there. Change new medium. And I'm going to put this to 75%. Just because I think I'll be pitting a lap or two earlier. The thing with LMU is the number you see in the bottom left. is not how much energy slash fuel is going to be added, it's how much you will leave your pit stop with. So if we do pit a lap earlier, we need to adjust that then on the MFD. Since pitting one lap earlier will mean a 1 lap longer stint to the end. So as we come up to the line here, we don't have 2 laps. We only have 1 lap of energy. So we'll have to pit at the end of this lap. With that being the case, the game has automatically requested our pit stop. We'll go 76% just to be safe. Wonder if we'll see the leader in as well. Nope, leader stays out for another lap. Oh, that's way too quickly in. Yeah, because the tires are so worn. I don't know what the penalty is for pit speeding in this game, but I'll probably get one there. A little bit forward on the box. Fire the car back up. And away we go. New front tires. You can see them cooled The rear tires still have temperature in them. Drive through. Ooh, oh gosh, the car just does not want to turn. That was a lot of understeer. Yeah, that kills our chance for a race win. Not that I think we really had a chance. I'm going to stay out for a lap or two just to continue building heat into the tyres. And to see where we would have been had I not made that mistake. Car very slidey there. That is the Ferrari. Of course, we gained like a second or two with the pit speeding, so we would be quite this close. But we might have had a chance. I'm going to pit at this lap since we're getting the front tires up to temperature and we're now technically in traffic. So yeah, much safer into the pits. We might lose P3 here. P3 is coming up towards the straight, is just coming up to pit entry now. It's past pit entry. I think we'll just about hold on here. Nearly had a slide there. There's P3 just in our mare. That's a hypercar that isn't appearing on my relative for some reason. Can see the car, or if the car trying to come around on those older tires. So 32 minutes remain. Two-second gap back to P3. Should be seeing some quick laps now with the new tyres, but the lighter fuel load from having a shorter stint. But that's what we have to be careful of, that rear end. You know, the rear right, 66%. Actually pulling away from the fry, probably because we've got more temperature in our tires, so probably still getting up to speed a bit. Minutes left in the race. See, compared to our Delta, we lose quite a bit of time there, just because we're not able to slam on the throttle through turn 4. We have to be conscious that the rear tires are old. They are worn. Of course, the delta between the tyres will slowly come down throughout the race. Of course, we do have that bit front end damage as well from the first pit exit. Car sliding around a bit through turn 2 and 3. So our main objective here is to hold on to P2. You can see the TC lights flashing up through the corner before I've even gone the throttle in some cases. Just because the car's wanting to slide around at the rear end. The TC can also act as a bit of a stability control. When you're trying to apply the throttle. Far behind's closed in a bit this lap. If it wasn't for running wide there, that would have been a good lap. My braking point there slightly. Then had the Alpine try and cut down to the inside, which was just a very awkward spot. .35.8 from the car behind last lap. A little bit quicker than we were. Big slide from the rear end there as we went to turn in. Fry's definitely going to be closing up this lap. And now we've met traffic. That's us through this time on the inside. What's that line? It's quite right too. Yeah, they lost by a second that last lap. Looks like the Ferrari lost a bit of time behind the lapped McLaren though. Ferrari still closed in a bit last lap. Minutes left in the race. We have 15 laps of fuel. That's a bit wide. Gained a little bit of time last lap on the Ferrari. BMW Hypercar messes the braking point up as a lock-up. Also have the leader lapping us now too. Caddy has got back to lead after being passed by the Alpine earlier on in the race. And has opened up quite a margin too, looks to be nearly 6 seconds. BMW in front really struggling with the brakes on the Hypercars. Of course, Hypercars don't have ABS, much like the LMP2 that we were driving at Bahrain on Monday. Still holding that gap at about 2 seconds. Halfway through our track limit allowance. As we have a Porsche here who It's really making a meal of this. GT3 Ferrari being lapped. Seems like we're just able to hold on to this gap. To P3. To lap another McLaren love curve there. Looks like the third place Ferrari behind is getting in a little bit of trouble with traffic, has dropped back to 3 seconds. Seems like a bit of unfortunate timing when they came to pass. The Ferrari that we lapped, but also had the BMW that just lapped us, the Hypercar, and has cost them a second. We nearly got into the back of that McLaren trying to lap them as they ran out wide and had a very poor exit from the effective final corner. That's just given us a little bit more breathing room now. Porsche coming up to pass us now. Gap opening up a little bit. Another half-second gained on the Ferrari behind last lap. Maybe the Porsche getting past them cost them a little bit of time. 4-second gap now to the fry behind. As we actually set a purple final sector. A little bit too much curb on the inside of T3 there. Minutes to go. Very much just counting down the laps, making sure we don't make any mistakes. Another purple final sector. Alpine coming up behind us. Also just past 50 laps completed. Just see a pack of Hypercars on the mini-map, not too far away from catching us up. They should catch us up around, yeah, on the straight here. Gonna have two pass us, including the race leader once again. Now with only 6 minutes. remaining. That should be the last time that the leader laps us. That should be 5 laps to go, I would say. The LMPs have been running about like 125, you can see there, for the leader last lap. Judah Porsche being patient there. Much appreciated. Second place Ferrari just getting by before turn 8. Looks like we're catching up to a couple of GT3s as well. That's all 4 of the Hypercars through. Five minutes left on the clock. Per exit from the final corner is just in a little bit too deep. That front right tire also getting up to 100 degrees isn't helping in that regard. This is the battle for P6 that we're coming up to lap. This could get awkward. Ferrari, very generous, very proactive there. Greatly appreciated. Wouldn't be surprised if the BMW waits for the start-finish straight. Get the better exit, and that should power us through. Unfortunately, the BMW loses very minimal time letting us through like that. We'll get a good slipstream here for the second half of the straight as well. Whereas the Ferrari, being very kind and very generous, has lost a lot more time in that middle sector. Glad to get those moves done before this next hypercar comes through as well. See the leader on the mini-map is heading up to the start-finish line. And they will be starting their final lap. Leaders in both classes doing so. Ferrari behind still has to get through the 2 lapped cars. We head on to the final lap, or no, not the final lap, sorry. No, not the final lap, the penultimate lap. Getting a little ahead of myself there. So the overall leader in Hypercar, going through the first couple of corners, now on their final lap. So time has ran out. But we'll have one more lap here. Four-second gap to P3, who unfortunately had an incident on turn 2 of lap 1 that spun them round and put them out of the fight for the lead. After that, we were having a great three-way fight for the lead. Got up into second after starting P4. Of course, already in P3 after the Ferrari had the spin. Was putting pressure on the leader, but unfortunately fell to third. Before very soon after, a crash between the second place BMW and the Hypercar trying to lap us. Span them both out. And as we tried to take avoiding action, we unfortunately got collected in it and spun as well. Which was a real shame, as when it came to the pit stops, we went for an alternate strategy, only putting on new front tyres, saving us about 7 seconds in the pit stops. And that meant that when the leader came out 1 lap later, we were actually right on their tail. Unfortunately, missing my braking point into the pits, we had sped in pit lane and got a drive-through penalty, dropped us back, but we held on to P2. It's a shame about that incident with the Hypercar, because the race was seeming really, really good at that point. You know, the race was getting really, really interesting. A three-way fight for the lead, and you know, we definitely had the pace to potentially win that race. Of course, we'll never truly know how much. The BMW seems like they did just quit after that, which is a shame. Bit disappointing from them. But yeah, it seemed like it was going to be a really good race after that. Also, yeah, quite a few people leaving early, unfortunately. There were like 35 sign-ups for this race, you know, so it is disappointing to see only 21 people finishing. But yeah, that was a really fun race. Sorry, just typing in Discord. But yeah, that was a good fun race. Let's see, fastest lap. I think it was. Yeah, we were 10th and a half off fastest lap. There didn't have a faster lap. Of course, they didn't do the second stint. They did have 355. Oh, they slightly beat us on fastest lap. But yeah, that was good fun. It's a real shame about the incident with the hypercar in the middle because it was going to be a brilliant three-way fight, and I think we could have won with that differing strategy. The pace seemed to be there. So yeah, that was still good fun. Of course, the fighting in the end, we just had the measure over the Ferrari, the second Ferrari. And of course, they got caught up a little bit more in a little bit more traffic. But yeah, that pace, but yeah, it does seem like quite a few of the GT3s got drive-throughs. Yeah, it seems like someone said like maybe about 10 of them did. It seems like quite a few did go through pit lane. So it could have been a more interesting fight then at the end of the race too, even with that drive-through. But yeah, just people a bit too far back with the penalties. So yeah, as we always do, we're going to finish off with some Art of Rally. It is not long after 9:30. But we do have some daily and weekly events to run. Where's Art of Rally? There it is. So let's get Art of Rally up. And yeah, let's head to the daily event. I think might be able to scroll back far enough for Monday. Yep, just about. Finished 35th in the end for Monday. In the top 10%. Haven't ran it since it's been Christmas. So let's see, 11-kilometer stage in Sardinia. In a Group 3 car, we have a Nissan Fairlady, I believe this is. or it's. I believe there's also something that's I don't know. There's definitely like a second variation of this car, like under a different it's the same car but different quote unquote manufacturer, different brand, but not coming to my mind at the moment. Trying to read Discord at the same time. His driving is quite difficult. Actually, just thinking about it, probably should have had a little look at that incident with the Hypercar and the BMW that happened in the replay. I keep forgetting about replays. They save automatically in Le Mans Ultimate. In full as well. Which is quite handy. Though I am a little bit curious as to how much of my SSD space the replays are taking up. Car's very nice to drive, very easy. I mean, you can't turn autosave on for ACC and Assault Corsa. I tend to just have it off because there's very few times where I actually want the replay. So it's easier. I've found it easier to just say, right, I'll save it when I need it, rather than having a load of replays rack up and take up storage. Because they can be like a gig or so for each replay, depending on how many cars and how long it is. You know, so if you have 30 replays, you know, that's 30 to 60 gig. There's finish for Metz 5.5. Puts us 30th, top 10%. That's not too bad. Oh, they're the, 23 thousandths off of 29th. That would have been nice. But yeah, not too bad. Happy with that. Car was very nice. Could have been a little bit, distracted. I can hear my cat's bell in the background. I think he probably wants fed. Not daily event. Weekly event. Did we do this? Did I do this on Monday? Maybe I did. Didn't think so. Did I do this on Monday? Let me just check. Oh, I did. I did do this on Monday. So yeah, no, no weekly event then. Currently saying 91st though, so they'll update. So yeah, with all that done, that is um going to be it for today's stream. That was an exciting start to that race. I'm still sort of gutted about how the rest of that race went. It could have been so interesting. But yeah, that is more evidence of how LMU can be interesting. The tire strategy. We went for that different strategy. I think it would have worked. I think it would have. Yeah, it was very interesting. So it was. So yeah, I look forward to, that, and that's something that's good to know. The Interlagos, right? The front tire wear is so high that, yeah, it probably is beneficial just changing front tires only. And I look forward as we continue to explore more and more tracks, how we might see more tracks that lend themselves to having different options. So yeah, a little look forward to the new year. I was just signing up to some races for the new year. We will have for some races in January. Of course, next week, exact same time. We will have a 3-hour race around Le Mans. We're going to be we're going back into LMP2. I want to try that out again. See if we can actually tame it this time. Have a clean race. 3 hours is going to be a bit difficult, but strategy should come into play. So yeah, it'll be nice to get a bit of a longer race in now. Though that's being said, strategy-wise, it should be a little bit similar to Fuji. Well, that was a 90-minute race. We did have 2 times tire wear and fuel usage. So strategy-wise, that was a 3-hour race. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see how that goes. And we have all 3 classes. We have Hypercar and GT3 in that, as well as GTE for some reason. There's like 2 signups in GTE. I don't know why. Don't know why they have GTE. I think I hope they ditch it and we can get a couple more GT3 or LMP2 cars. Since the GTE aren't quite balanced with GT3, the GTEs are quicker. So it's like you'd have 2 cars just driving around by themselves at the moment. Why not have a bigger GT3 field? I'm also interested to see the difference between Hypercars and LMP2. I know they're very close. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Other stuff we have on Monday coming up. Similar time to today's stream, we have a Ford versus Ferrari on ACC in the GT3 class, the 296 versus the Ford Mustang. I'll be in the Ferrari for that race. I believe that is at Watkins Glen. Let me just check quickly. Watkins Glen, yes. So we have that on Monday. We might do some WRC tomorrow. I'm thinking I don't have a time for that. I'll make up as we go along, but do some, probably do a moment, try and see how many we can get done. We started going through a few on last week's WRC stream, so we'll go through some more, see if we can get all caught up. That would be quite nice before we go into the new year. But yeah, they'll bit last on events in next year. Go have a couple of LMU series, looking like Fridays and Mondays. We're also gonna have a Sunday series, so very different. Well, you go back a couple of months and I was doing a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Thursday series. And now going into next year, going to have a Monday, Friday, and Sunday series. So we'll have plenty of racing to look forward to, but hopefully not too much that we get sort of burnt out. It should be nice fun, and of course a bit of variety across all three. Let me just check on the Fridays. We're in the GT3 class. On the Mondays, we're in the LMP2 class. So yeah, I haven't driven the hypercars. Well, they'll test the hypercars. Haven't properly driven them yet. Do you have a race on for Monday, the 11th of January, though? Or is it Monday the 11th? No, sorry, Saturday the 11th of January. We'll have our first hypercar race. But yeah, more details about that later. There's quite a bit to go through for next year. The main thing you need to know is maybe a WRC stream tomorrow, time, just whenever it pops up on YouTube. Then we have our Ford versus Ferrari GT3 battle on ICC at Watkins Glen on Saturday. They'll be starting at about 7:45 UK time, so similar time to today. Stream starting. And then next Saturday, we will have the 3 hours of Le Mans. Again, 7:30 p.m. UK time starting for that. We'll go much longer into the night. We'll still be racing this time next week, and we'll hopefully have some good racing in the LMP2 class, getting lapped by hypercars and lapping GT3 cars. Who knows if we'll have any dodgy moments in that, but of course, Le Mans, much longer lap. It will be a little bit tamer being lapped, won't be lapped quite as much. Especially with the smaller difference between hypercars and LMP2s as well. But yeah, thank you all for being here. It's great to see so many people out today. Iris, Jesse, Dakota as well. Good to see you all out. Geeky as well. Great to see you all. I hope you all enjoyed the racing, even if it dulled down a little bit in the second half. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, if not Monday. But until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good start to your Sunday. And yes, I will see you next time. But in the meantime, bye bye.